All right, everybody, since we're in a tight time schedule, we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 1:30. Welcome to the virtual presentation of SACE integration. Although I do miss the in-person conference, we want to make sure everyone stays safe and healthy during this time, and we still want to keep you informed of new features, updates, and changes to SACE. I know, not as much fun, and if you've attended one of our conferences, you know how much fun we are, but just as informative, we promise. My name is Laura Mahoney, and I'm a program manager with CodeStack, currently working on the SACE system. Today, we'll be talking about integration, and I hope districts have included not only their SACE folks, but SIS staff too. I know this will be of great help to all of you. We are confident that integration will make reporting great again. Michael Pham is our co-presenter. He is also a program manager with working on the SACE system. Say hi, Michael.
Hello, everyone.
A little later, he will be giving you all a live virtual demo of how the integration process works and how easy it is to set up. Before we get started, I wanted to let everyone know that you've been muted, both for your protection and ours. It's crazy, some of the things you hear in the background when folks forget to mute themselves. So let me just say in advance, you are welcome for any potential embarrassing moments we may have avoided here today. Also, all sessions will be recorded and posted to the conference website after the conference. The PowerPoint materials to this and all sessions have been posted to the conference website as well. We ask that you please enter all questions into the Q&A, as the Q&A will be downloaded and sent to all attendees after the conference. Closed captioning is available by clicking the CC closed captioning icon on your Zoom toolbar below. The topics on our agenda today are the benefits of integration, learn why integrating your data is so important, and how SACE takes that extra work off your hands. The contract process. We will show you how easy the contract process is to get started and complete. The upload process, which is sending your student information data to SACE. The homepage and exception report. What happens once you receive and validate your file of data? And finally, the download process, extracting data from SACE for you to upload into your student information system. At the end of the presentation, you are going to run to your decision maker and tell them, I need it right now. You're going to wonder how you have gotten this far without integration. So you're probably asking yourself, why are integration services beneficial to my district and why do I need it? Well, ask no more. Friends, I'm here to tell you today all the good reasons why it's beneficial to have integration between your SIS and SACE. First and most importantly, aligning SPED data with the SIS data has never been more important. As you are all aware, CalPADS now validates your SPED data against your SIS data and vice versa to ensure accuracy in reporting student information to CalPADS. Ensuring that student enrollments and exits coincide is also important in CalPADS. Student SPED data cannot be submitted if a student does not or did not have an active enrollment in your LEA or district. This alone is enough to get on board with integration. I will say it again, friends, we are here to make reporting great again. Or maybe I should say, make reporting less complicated again. It's a nightly automated process. What it really does is streamline the data between SIS and SACE, between the SIS and SACE. Once the setup process is complete and turned on, there is no need to monitor the job. All the work is done through the automated process. Sending data from your SIS to SACE, extracting the desired data from your SIS and placing it in a nightly file for our system to pick up and process. Here, we recommend uploading data that is more accurate in your student information to update SACE. Then we have sending your data from SACE to your student information system, a customized file with data from SACE to be placed and eventually uploaded into your student information system. Here, we recommend downloading data that is more accurate in SACE to update your student information system. Providing better data management. Let us make your job easier. It reduces the potential for data entry errors from one system into another. Avoid duplicate entries between two information systems. No one wants to input the same data twice. For most districts, it might be that one staff member maintains the SIS and the other staff member maintains SACE. Once you coordinate who is inputting what information into what system, you can let integration do the rest. Discrepancies avoided. CalPAS errors reduced. And peace and harmony between both systems achieved. And if you don't know this picture is your SIS person and your SAFE person dancing in harmony. Now let's move on to the contract process. It's pretty straightforward. You request the information from SAFE. We send you a packet of information for you to review with your district staff to see if this is going to work for your district. And then we send you the contract questionnaire. You complete the questionnaire, you return it to SAFE. The nice piece is that since there are no credit checks or background checks, you're probably going to be approved. So while we wait for that contract to get into place, we can start working with you to create that upload file and extracting that data in the format that we need to upload it into SAFE. Once that's done, we just wait for the contract to be generated. We email it. Our accounts payable person emails it to the person authorized to sign that contract. They return it, and our staff, Michael, will give you all the rest of the information that you need to get the process completed. That's it. Nothing more complicated than that. Really, you can contract for both upload and download, or just one, either the upload or the download, your choice. The pricing will be slightly different if you choose only one option. The cost will be based on your current, active, and pending student counts in SAFE. So let's talk about the upload from your student information to SAFE. So you're asking yourself, what if only select districts want to use the integration feature? Well, that's good. Integration is a per district feature. So you, as a district, can have your own custom integration upload and download. The caveat with that is sometimes we do get SEIS that contract to pay for all their districts. So with that in mind, all the districts would have to have one upload file and one download file, meaning that you would only have one set of data going either way. So, but the upside is the SEIS is paying for it. So, you know, those are some of the things that you have to consider. What students can be included in the upload file? Well, in your student information system, you have a way to identify those students that are special education, that are receiving special education. Only those students should be included in your file because it will cause a lot of errors on the SAFE side for people to have to research and find out why these students didn't get updated, only to come to find out that they don't receive services. But then what can you send in the file? So the file has 42 standard optional fields. You don't have to choose all of them, but there's 42 standard fields. They're mostly demographic and household information, parent guardian information. You also have the ability to send 15 variable fields, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. So how does the data get into SEIS is the next question. Well, we have two ways. You can install a console application to send the data to SEIS, or if you host your own server, SFTP server, we can do it that way as well. You just have to get with your tech person and they'll set it up, and both are a nightly automated process. It's just two different avenues to get to the endpoint of the nightly integration. Some of the commonly uploaded variable fields, these are the 15 variable fields that I was talking to you about earlier. It could be your reporting LEA, it could be your school of attendance, your parent education level, your English proficiency status. You choose. What's really cool is the custom field ID. Say you have some transportation data in your student information system, and you have that same transportation data in SEIS. We can link it up, no problem. And you can either go from whatever's more accurate. It can go from SEIS to your SIS, or from your SIS to SEIS. Say you have in your student information system, next school year's teacher, next school year's school. You set up those custom fields in SEIS, and guess what? They can talk to each other. This way, everybody has the same information. Pretty easy, pretty cool. So, and like I said, this piece right here is it's really customizable. You can pretty much upload, as long as there's linking fields from your SIS to SEIS. There's health alerts. There's court alerts that you can also transfer data back and forth from. So this right here is just whatever you decide is useful to have in both systems. So you're probably asking yourself, how are students matched from the file to SEIS? Well, students are matched on the district ID and date of birth. The district ID is your student information ID. And now SEIS has a feature where you can bulk upload your district IDs into SEIS so that when you are ready for the integration process, it's ready as well. The bulk upload district ID feature is accessible to districts only, to district level users only in SEIS, because it is contained within the district. So, and then you were going to ask yourself, how can I see if students were not uploaded or if there was an error? Michael's going to go ahead and go over the homepage exception report here in just a few and let you know how, when kids get rejected from the report, for better lack of words, where they'll display and how you can resolve those issues. Lastly, what if you want to turn your integration off for the summer? We know that the SIS, the student information, starts preparing for the next school year as soon as the current school year is over. You start planning class lists, you start uploading or rolling up your grades, you start doing all kinds of other things in your SIS that you're just not ready for SAFE to take on yet, because there's students maybe going to summer school or still on a plan that you just don't want to update that information for in SAFE just yet. No problem. All you have to do is contact Michael at the integration desk or our help desk and say, hey, I want to turn it off for the summer. No problem. We click up a button, we turn it off. You email us when you're ready to rock and roll for the new school year. It's turned on. That night, things get updated. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. And yeah, really easy. So without further ado, the rest of the slides are for reference. And for right now, I'm going to go ahead and let Michael do the live demo and show you exactly how it works and how easy it is. Michael, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and mute myself, and it's on you, babe.
Thank you, Laura. Let me share my screen real quick. Like Laura said, my name is Michael Pham. I'm one of the program managers on the integration team. Like many of you, I prefer a live demo over slides because there's a lot of text information. So I'd rather go through an interactive page so you can see how it's very easy and useful. Once your IT team creates the file extract provided by our department, we have a development site. Basically, this gives you more control of the data that you're sending to SEIS, and you can be able to select it the way it is you want. Once the file extract is ready, this is our testing site. Upload process is here. Your IT team, or depending on who your SIS vendor is, will upload the file to our server. It'll be here. We have a log available telling the date and timestamp. Here's how it looks. It's based, the student will populate here, name, district ID. You'll expand the fields. It will list the 42 fields right here based on the file layout, and the 15 fields as optional. So we recommend the district, whoever is assigned to this task, to review the name, make sure the name's correct, the race identification. The most important is always look at address. If there's telephone numbers, always to look at the telephone number to make sure the work telephone number versus the cell phone is correct. Depends on who's extracted the file. So basically just telling you the correct format. You see the check marks here. It's all correct. You'll see this student right here for race 2. Somehow in the file itself, your programmer or whoever's doing the extract sending us the word no. That's not part of the file structure. We need the code set numbers. No, it could be 300, 400, whatever it is that needs to be here, not the word no. So basically you get an error right here telling you what it is. This is just basically validating the file structure and the code set. It has not been pushed into our server yet. So it's a very simple process. to allow you to validate what's on your file itself. We get calls where the district say, hey, the student grade level is incorrect. So basically you'll go in here, look at the grade level. Oh, it is correct, it's 10. So we just want to know, make sure that before you reach out to us, there's options available for you to even to look at what's on the file itself. The great thing about this part is that your control as well. If you decide to send us optional values, you have the control of as well. So basically, if you want to send native language, you can add it to the file structure or our new recent fields right here. If you decide not to want it, just simply change the value to empty. That's your character, your variables, I mean. If you want to add additional information, just continue add, hit save, and your IT team will revise their extract to include those extra optional variables on your file structure. The key part of this integration project is communication between you, your special ed department, your district IT, or if you host it with Aries, the vendor side, and us to make sure this project works. So once the file's finished correct, once the file is done, it goes through a nightly process. Basically, this is the first phase where it's basically validate the file itself, just make sure it's good. At our 9 p.m. nightly job, it goes through a second validation. Once that validation process, the user when they log into SEIS, they'll see an exception report. Basically, when you log into SEIS, we'll enable the permission for you. You'll need a district level account. Once you log in, scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see a SEIS exception link. At a glance, you'll see this number here. It's telling a student did not match based on the district ID or date of birth. You click here. You'll see the student's name. This student had no date of birth, so it's populated here. So basically, if you want to add a student that's not in SEIS or is part of this structure here, simply click on the add button. You can do a search to make sure the student does not exist. So the student there's no record, simply by filling in information. Hit add. Basically, the student is added into SEIS. So there is no need to type in the student profile in SEIS and avoid any errors for the record. If this sample student that you know is not active or should be flagged inactive in your system, simply remove it. Basically, the notice is gone. Until a new file is uploaded to our system and processed, this count will refresh. So let's say, for example, that student should not be active. So just basically unflag the student as special ed in your system, and that the following night, that same student will not populate here. We have another exception report. This report here is basically saying, hey, this student is a match. However, a column on the data set is incorrect. So click here, you'll download the file. So it's telling me this student has a e-sign lock. So we're not updating the record for that student. Here's that one student I was, as my example earlier. Instead of a 3-digit code set, somehow we're seeing the word no. So basically, all the information on the student has been updated, but except for Royce code 2, because due to invalid character set. It's very simple. It's just getting somebody assigned to the task daily to review this report. That way, it's more beneficial to the district, and they get the teams involved and have an accuracy data between both systems. On the log, we also have an upload log to tell your staff as well whenever the file is uploaded as well. If you see, let's say for example, today is the 5th, the 6th, and tomorrow you log in and you don't see a file in there, it means either the server is not accepting the file or the job is not being uploaded. So just please contact us or your IT team to make sure a file is being uploaded. The download process is basically sending SIS data, specialized data to your SIS. It's a very simple process as well. We allow this control for the district as well. Download. The student file is required to download the data, but the search file is optional. On the student file, you can select fields from the records page, the demographic page, schools, dates, IP page. Even when you create a custom field, just provide us the ID and we'll include this to the download as well. Services file is exactly the same thing. Service code, provider code, minutes, start dates, things like that. If you want us to, if you want to add it, it's available as well. The great thing about this is that you control your data exporting from SEIS. It's very simple. Click on the download, student file setup. This is our download fields. So all these fields are preloaded for Aries. Let's say, for example, when you come in with a clean slate, there's no fields at all, and you want us to speed up the process, say, hey, we're using Aries. Is it possible? Can you start us with a template, and that from there we could edit or remove it? We use PowerSchool, or if we use Synergy, whatever it is that you want, we could try to help you out. Instead of sitting there selecting 53 fields, we could preload it for you. That way, it's available for you. You could always delete it. You don't want that field, then just delete it. And it's all available for you. Hit save. The key thing to doing this, please keep in mind, certain SIS vendors have a unique way of title on their file. For example, recently a lot of districts inquire about participation testing. Yes, that could be included in your file to export. However, we need to know the name or the database names. That way we could title it correctly. We don't want to say part EL, then when you download the data or your IT download it into your system, it errors out. I know we've been trying this for a couple of fields with Aries. They're saying this is their database name. For participation, however, when they're importing the data, it's not reading it correctly. So it's important to make sure that you enter the correct name or the expected name, so that way your file is imported correctly into the system. Service files as well. You have all this information as well available for you. If you don't want it, that's up to the district. We have districts that uses 10 field. We have some districts that use 100 fields. So it's up to you as a district. It's customized for you, available to export the data. I know with certain school, their template's a little bit different because of SIS. We could create the template the way you want it, then just leave the field blank because you're not exporting that field data. But it's always important that you're paying for this service and you would like to extract as much special data as you want for this process into your SIS. The criteria for the download for the student file is eligible students, exited students within the current school year, transfer students that exited within the current school year, and DNR equals to no. If you're using the service file, it'll be eligible students, exited students within the current school year, transfer, exit within the current school year as well, students that mark DNR equals a no, and services that are not marked DNR. Some district would like also pending students. That's available as well. It's optional. So if you would like pending students included in your download, please send us an email and we'll add it to your download. When you're downloading the file, there's 3 types of file. You'll see a CSV file, a text file, and XML. So it all depends on what the district is using and import into the SIS. But it's all three types is available as well. So it's a very simple process. It's just, like I said, communication between special ed, IT folks, and us to make sure that you're getting data that you want. Like Lauren mentioned, if you're going SFTP, the district needs to host the website. Your IT team could come in here, basically enter the information for your SFTP site and just save it. There's no need to contact us saying, hey, I got all this FTP information. You can provide address, provide this link to your IT team, and they'll take care of that. But if you want to use the console app to push the file, it's the same process. Come here, download the console app, just extract the file and go through the process. We'll provide you instructions how to take care of that. It's a very simple process. It's just like I say, you just get all the team members involved to get this project going. Hey, Laura, do we have any questions in QA? So I'll help out.
We sure do. Tina Farmer wants to know, do you support SchoolWise? I'm assuming that SchoolWise is a student information vendor?
So we support SchoolWise. Are you talking about school pathways? Yes, we support school pathways.
Okay. And just to note, we work with all types of vendors. As long as you can extract the data from your SIS and upload it into that automated, to the console app or the SFTP, we can definitely pick up that file as long as it's in the correct format, process it, and update SAIS. So we work with a lot of vendors.
Correct. We'll provide the template that's required, a CSV file. And all it is that your IT team or dependent on your vendor, they'll extract it in that format. And basically, like I said, you can upload that file here, and we could verify it, whatever is on the file. Let's say, for example, you want additional information on the file. You can add more information to it. If not, you can start out with limited information. As you go on, you can add more information. But the 42 fields is available to the district. It's not required to use all 42 fields. It's just there available for you as an option. And let's say, for example, you start today, you're going only with certain information, and the following week you're ready to go full blown and would like add additional variables. Just come up here, go to variable here, and start adding whatever that you would like to add onto the file extract. Just please make sure you reach out to your IT team so that way they can revise the file extract instead of assuming that the file would be correct based on what you're selecting here. So whatever the special ed department decide, please reach out to your IT team, let them know that, hey, we would like to add this information onto our extract. Please revise it and upload it to SEIS. And feel free to reach out to us at any time at SEIS integration@sjcoe.net, or call our help desk and we'll just help you answer any questions you have before you even trying to proceed with this. We don't want to give you a product and you decide it's like, hey, it's not used for anything. We want to make sure that you have all the information you need before you proceed. Like Laura said, even though the contract's not signed, myself or Laura will still reach out to your IT team or wherever it is to start the process going, because we understand with different departments, there's always a lag in between getting paperwork or getting signed, especially with this pandemic situation we have right now. So, whenever a contract questionnaire is in place, myself or Laura will reach out. We'll start getting the process going and provide you steps, what's needed.
Right. Lucky Joe wants to know, can custom fields be sent from the student information into a custom field created in SAIS?
Yes. A custom field is available, correct. Basically, when you're creating a custom field, please email us. Say, hey, I want this custom field integrated into SEIS on our nightly export. Once we get that custom ID field, we'll create the custom field ID. Like say, for example, right here. You give us the custom field ID, we'll add it. Custom ID field is 3448. We'll title it here. Once that's ready, you go in here and select it. The file will, once you upload a new file, that custom ID will import it into SEIS based on that custom ID field.
Awesome. The integration, Diana Vera wants to know, is the integration working now for statewide assessments?
Yes, based on the field selection, yes. Basically, we're selecting fields from the statewide assessment. Like I said, your SIS vendor needs to be able to import that data. I know because a week ago, a couple of our integration from Aries wanted to import the data, but they don't know the field name. We need the field name to in order to correctly assign the fields in the data, because we could type in assessment tabs, but we don't know what the field names is in Aries to accept it. So yes, we can export those data.
Perfect. Rochelle Wolf wants to know, where is the file information on the district login? She says she does regularly monitor the exception report, but she's not sure where this is. So the file information on the district login, can you, I'm not really sure, Rochelle, where the file that you're referring to is, but Michael, can you show everybody, if you haven't already, how to get to the homepage notice?
The homepage notice,
and,
if
yeah.
we right here, click here. And this file right here.
That's going to be your exception report for your upload, correct?
Correct.
So information coming into the
Correct.
database. Perfect. Okay. Awesome.
This page is not available for everybody yet. This is just our development site, and it's in production for new integration. So basically, this is just a peek at what we are offering as well. Once new users are using it, that way you can verify the information straight from the page instead of reaching out to IT or reaching out to us.
Perfect. Let's see. To integrate with Aries, you will need Aries to create it. Okay, so let me. Will LPAC results get imported into SEIS if we choose? You know, if we're doing the LPAC information, and the LPAC information. So the only place that I know of that the LPAC is stored is on the statewide assessment form. So do we currently have that information coming into SEIS from the upload?
Upload or download?
It says, will LPAC results get imported into SEIS if we choose? So I'm assuming it's the upload from the SEIS.
No,
okay,
I don't think we have any district upload LPAC information at the moment.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. So I have an e-signature question. It says, when an IEP is out for signature, it will not be updated, question mark. Do you know if we're linked to the e-signature process? Right now, currently, the way the e-signature process works is that if you have a package out for processing, you can't access the future IEP. You really can't do a lot of changes to SEIS because of that. Do you know if the integration process, you got it right there for me.
Correct.
All right.
Based on if there's an e-package coming out from the future, yes, we're blocking it as well, part of the nightly integration. You'll get it on your report that the student is being blocked because of e-signature. Once the package is complete, a new file is updated, the student will remove off the report, so the student will not be on this report.
Okay, great. Let's see. Is there a list of custom fields that can be uploaded from SEIS to PowerSchool, or is that truly open for us to customize? So this is regarding the download. So the question again is there a list of custom fields that can be uploaded from SEIS to PowerSchool? So for CalPADS reporting purposes, will the data still come from SEIS or our SIS after integration? Okay.
Basically,
so,
on our export is basically we have several templates. We have a CalPAD templates right here. It's our CalPADS data, specialty data that we're sending. This is the same template that we're using. So this is a template you could export for your CalPADS data. Like I said, you need to know the name of the title fields. That way, this is special transportation. This is what Aries required. It could be in PowerSchool, it could be special _ trends, or no, it's all depends on the district special student information system. So I just want to make sure that whatever fields that you're exporting, make sure you have the correct title so it matches the import.
all right. Natalie Martin says the download demographic exception report should be blank unless there are errors, right?
Correct.
So, yeah, so it's the downloaded demographic exception report. So this is back in regards to the upload. Okay.
Correct. So basically the students here is a match. However, a column on the data set is incorrect. Like for example, that student we had earlier, the data, all information was correct. However, the race code was incorrect. So that student will populate telling you, hey, everything is correct on the student, everything was updated, but except the race code 2 which is incorrect, so it was not updated.
Okay. So after all paperwork is done, when could we start?
Once the district verified that the data is correct, so we'll load the file here. Once it's ready, you come here and say, hey, the date of birth, everything looks correct. Address, telephone numbers, everything's correct. It's not reversed. Somebody from the district notified us, yes, the data is correct. We would like to go live. From there, we'll go live. We'll enable your integration. The following day, myself or one of our team members will email you how to review this report. So that way, you know the system's been processed at the night.
Awesome. Okay, so let me see. If Crystal wants to know, if a student is determined eligible and status is changed from pending to eligible on SAFE, would the integration tag that the student as fed on our SIS, or will I still have to manually tag them? So if you want to, so I'm assuming what she's saying is if a student goes from pending to eligible, and on the download, when we send them information, how does that work? How will those students be flagged in their SIS?
Currently on our download, we do not include pending students. So if the district wants pending students, we can include that. But in their SIS, there's certain flag that indicate the student is special ed, and just flag it correctly. And on your query from the IT team, when they export the data, they'll pull only special ed students. We do not want general education student in the file because SEIS only have special ed students. We do not want general education because, for example, your district have 4,000 students, but there's only 1,000 students in special ed. If the file contains 4,000 students, when you log in the morning, you'll see a 3,000 count here as an error. So that means 3,000 students did not match basically because those are general education students. We won't even want special education students on the file uploaded into SEIS.
Okay, and I think too, Crystal, if you're asking on the when we download the information and send it to you for upload into your SIS, if the student isn't flagged on your end, it may bounce back on some type of exception report that you may have set up. There has to be some type of a connection. I believe, Michael, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that there has to be some type of a connection between the data in SAFE and the student in the student information system, so that information can get updated, or it just depends on what they identify as the identifier, whether it be a district ID or something, when they're uploading the information from SAFE to their student information system.
Correct. Aries, I know have a validation system. Once you import the file into their database, you'll get an email telling it's a count based on a match or not a match based on the student.
Okay. Okay. Do we have the cost available, or do you have the cost offhand to give?
Yeah, go ahead and email us at seisintegration@sjcoe.net. We'll provide you the cost breakdown in the portfolio of all the services we provide for integration.
Okay, great. And let me just kind of go through it. To integrate with Aries, you will need Aries to create. Okay, so how does, because we have a lot of users that use Aries, is there some instances where Aries hosts the server and we have to go through Aries, and is there some instances where the users host their own server with Aries and can do it themselves?
Correct. So basically, Aries have two kind of services. First service is called Aries on-prem. Basically, the district controls the data and IT's department handles the import and export. So basically, your IT team would need to export the data into our template, or if you're doing the import, you will need to import it into the web portal based on the file structure. If you have Aries hosted, basically it's a cloud service with Aries. They handle the export and import. So basically, you need whoever's using Aries hosted will need to submit a ticket to Aries to say, hey, we're starting an integration project with SEIS. Please start the extract part. Or if you're just doing a download, say, hey, we need to do the download. The first thing they'll tell you to do is to reach out to us if you're not in contact with us. But if you're in contact with us already, just submit a ticket to Aries, because that's how they work, a ticket system. They'll start the process. And once the ticket's escalated to the second level support, they'll have somebody reach out to us, say, hey, this is District A would like to do integration. Let's start the project. And from that point, areas will reach out to us and we'll work on the file structure.
Perfect. Andrea just kind of she said she doesn't see the purple page that Michael is working on now. Does that mean she doesn't have access to make changes on those pages? Andrea, the purple header for SEIS indicates that we're in our development site. So we have a development, a testing site, and then our production site. And we all have them, and we have them listed in different colors on the headers just so that it makes it easier for us when we're testing to identify which environment we're in. So the purple indicates that Michael is working from our development site. So don't worry, that's just for our end. So let me see if there's anything else here. Okay, the list, we went through the custom fields. Any plans to add, update student data using the ARIES API? Do you know anything about that, Mike?
No, at this point, we're not doing the API at this point because of the live data that comes over. It takes a lot of load on our system. So that's why we do a nightly process where a file from ARIES come to our system. We process at night where it doesn't take a processing time and slow lag time on a user end as well. So basically at 9 o'clock, we're processing the file. When you log in 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, that dashboard is updated so you can review the report in the morning and the records itself.
Perfect. It looks like we are almost out of time here. Let me see what time we have. And we still have a few more minutes. If anybody has any more questions, let me go ahead and go into the chat and see if there's anything in there. Our district is set up in the SEIS integration. I cannot remember if was it before. If this was before we transitioned to beta.sais.org, would we have to run another integration? Michael, I believe what Kathy is asking is that they were already set up with SEIS integration before we moved from beta to now we're back to just sais.org. Did that interrupt integration services for anyone?
No, we sent out a technical bulletin when we updated our webpage as well. So
Okay.
just reach out to your IT team, make sure that they have that technical bulletin to update the configuration on the console app. And you can reach out to us or our help desk if you don't have that bulletin. We could just, or you can forward us your IT email address and we can reach out to that individual to help them correct it.
Perfect, perfect. So this information again is being recorded for everybody. After the conference, we're going to send a link to all of our users so that they can access all of the recordings and all the documentation. But you are more than welcome to go to the conference website and download the PowerPoint presentation. I am going to really quick, let's see, come back to the conference here. And oops, let me come back here. I can find myself. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here's my little thing. I wanted to share my screen. And thank everybody for joining us today. I want to, hopefully this information was helpful. We definitely want to help you in the process for CalPADS reporting, and this definitely makes it a lot easier, a lot more streamlined, and a lot less complicated. I know that the SIS folks are now working with the SEIS folks, and the SEIS folks are now working with the SIS folks. So this is just one more tool in our bag here to help you guys accomplish what you need to do with CalPADS reporting. We want to thank you for additional information or to get integration started, and we hope to have all you guys on board. Contact the SEIS Integration Help Desk. And once again, since this is our first virtual conference, we definitely want your feedback. We want to know what we can do better, how we can improve. So that's about it for our presentation. We'll go ahead and let you guys get ready for your next session. On behalf of Michael and I, we want to thank you. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and healthy.
Thank you, everyone.